Good morning. It is a chilly December morning. It's 19 degrees and feels like 13. So going out to do barn chores this morning was not fun. Lots of frozen water buckets and everything else to deal with. But anyway, it's frozen. Okay, we've got frozen tomatoes. My tomatoes, a lot of them actually ripened real slowly, and we had to just gradually pick them, and there really wasn't enough to do a batch. I've actually got even more than this in the freezer. So what I do when I have tomatoes that are ready, but I don't have enough to process them to make a batch of salsa, chili, tomato sauce, whatever I want to do, I freeze them. So I just pop them into freezer bags, and then I get them out later, defrost them, run them through my processor, the juicer, and then I can use them for whatever I want to use them for. They don't work the greatest for salsa. I mean, you could do that because once they thaw, the skins do peel off pretty easily, but I tend to just make tomato sauce out of them that I can use as a base for, pretty much anything else that I want to do. So we're gonna let these thaw, and we'll come back and I'll show you how I get them ready. Okay, so after they've most of the way, or at least partially thawed, I just dump them out into my colander and I rinse them off. Give them a light rinse just to make sure I didn't miss anything. I do rinse them lightly when I put them in the freezer and then let them sit in the colander for a while, then pack them in the freezer bags. So I'm just gonna dump a few of these bags in. And you want them pretty thawed out. I've got a few in here. I'm just checking them that aren't quite. I think they were in the middle of the bundle. This was a bigger bag. So anyway, I want them most of the way thawed out, because otherwise, if they're not, they're gonna clog up my vegetable strainer. So I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna finish rinsing these and run over there. Okay, so this is, I'll show you guys, this is my food strainer. You can buy ones for your KitchenAid mixer if you want. This one is a hand mixer, so if the power goes out, I don't have to worry about it. This one I ordered off of Amazon. It's called the Susina Pro Professional Fruit and Strainer, and then I bought a box of extra of the mesh strainers that are different sizes so I can do different things in them. All right, so what we're gonna do is just pop some of these in here, and we just turn the handle and get going with it. Hopefully I've got these defrosted enough. I have all the tomatoes juiced. However, we've got to go to Gabe's Christmas concert. He's gonna be playing saxophone in, and you guys will see that in just a minute. And I've got to get changed so that way I don't have tomatoes all over me to get there. So we're gonna go ahead and go do that. I hope you guys enjoy seeing that, and then we'll finish up the tomatoes in a bit. So I ran out of time last night. We had Gabe's concert, Christmas concert. So I had to just pop it on low and let it go. And I turned it on low overnight, hoping that I'd try to get it a little bit thicker. It's still not quite as thick as I normally put it, but it's definitely reduced significantly. So what I'm gonna do now is put it in the jars and put it in the canner. So I've got my water bath canner for tomatoes. You can use a water bath canner versus a pressure canner. I've already got a video on doing some of that. We're gonna put it in pints today, 1/2-inch headspace, and yeah, so that's pretty much it. We're just gonna pop it in jars, and there you go. And now I've just freed up a whole bunch of space in my freezer. I forgot to mention processing time is 35 minutes for pints and 40 minutes for quarts. It's just so that way you guys know that. And we're just gonna fill these up.